London was founded as Londinium by the Roman Empire. The Romans developed really organized cities because of their mindset, plans before what people want. This was organized, but wasn't friendly. London was one of the most organized large cities in the world until the 1700s, when modern socialism hit the city. At the time of the First Industrial Revolution, people flooded London, which wasn't ready for fast growth, and built shacks all over the city. This over time made London one of the most nastiest, dirtiest and most polluted cities in the world. London was no different from cities in developing countries today. The rich stayed in their quarters while the rest of the city was horrible. In the 1800s, Paris, France, had the same problem, but they had a leader that was old-fashioned like the Roman Empire, named Neopoleon. He didn't care much about the feelings of people he would displace in the short term, he cared about making the city beautiful to make himself look good. In 20 years, Paris became the most sought-after city in the world. England wanted the same for London, and London was given a large-scale redevelopment plan which displaced many people in the short term, for beautiful living areas in the long term. The city of London lost its shacks, but the city was not quite as beautiful as Paris, even though much better than it used to be. Architecturally, the British were more functional and the French are more creative. In the 1900s, London became lax in zoning laws and developers built cheap-looking homes that couldn't last, and those homes plus the old homes were deemed not good enough for the next generation of Brits. London decided on a way to build new homes, but were not sure how it would turn out since millions of people would be displaced. Then WW2 came and destroyed most of London. After the war, England tried to use that chance to develop beautiful cities and towns. This went well the first 10 years, with the Garden City movement, with new highways and towns, but England, scared of losing its historic farming heritage, put many restrictions on expansion, basically banning new suburbs, and by doing this, developers were restricted to building a variety of ugly-looking style of buildings and homes loosely based on old architectural ideas and built them in a hurry, often before regulation to appease the quickly growing population. The regulators in London weren't able to build a beautiful city, so they focused on the rapid population. Now London is one of the worst planned large cities in Western Europe and only a few major parts are considerably nice. The rest are below par to rich European cities. London is getting a makeover, but this is with large skyscrapers and big buildings and not with individual houses.